are listening to my papa and my uncle Polly on the Co and Bro Opinion Show. Stay tuned.
Coming to you live, it's the Co and Bro Opinion Show. Now here are your hosts, Corey Tiez.
He may have advanced illusionary schizophrenia with involuntary narcissistic rage, but he is a very gentle person.
And the outsider, Scotty Williams.
Goddamn, white boy.
You take forever to say nothing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Co and Pro Opinion Show right here on the Cavana Broadcast Network, YouTube, Facebook, and beyond. We are back again, Co.
Back at it again.
Back at it again with some great topics tonight. And, of course, our girl, H-Town's finest.
She's back.
Sassy Sarah is in with us. She's been waiting patiently on the Zoom chat, waiting for us to finish up the roar. And let's bring in Sassy. Do I have to hit the button, Jared? I will if I have to.
Click.
We're gonna get this down. There she is.
I've been waiting forever for that.
I know, right? You've been waiting, just listening to some good sports talk. I know how much you love sports.
Yes.
But you have some entertainment news for us.
What do you got?
What do you got, Sass?
I have a lot of entertainment, action, drama, entertainment news, a little bit, of everything. So we're going to start off with my boy, Chris Brown. He is touring, but he's also facing a little backlash because they want to understand the cancel culture with Chris Brown. How is he able to sell out his tours? And I know we spoke about that last time, about the ticket sales and things like that. But they wanted to compare his tickets with Beyonce. And they want to understand, why is Chris Brown selling out if he's the most hated man in the world after, of course, his colorism allegations and abuse allegations. So he's touring right now. Yeah.
He's touring right now.
Yes,
and
he's touring and he's selling out.
He said, he says he's the most hated man in entertainment. That's what he said?
He's the most hated man in entertainment. Basically, they're trying to understand how is cancel culture really, cancel culture really a thing with Chris Brown, because he's obviously selling out more than Beyonce, but he's supposed to be canceled. So is it fake? Cancel culture is fake, or is it not?
Well, it says here in the notes, Sass, that he sparks Beyonce comparisons.
He's selling out.
Who?
He said he's selling
Did he say that?
He's selling out more than Beyonce, is what you're saying?
Well, they're comparing the price, basically saying that, Beyonce last ticket sales with Carbo Carter is very expensive compared to Chris Brown's, of course, but he's also selling out really, really fast. So they're trying to say, like, oh, he's not on Beyonce level, it doesn't matter, but also people are faking the cancel culture lifestyle thing, because he's obviously doing very, very well for his abuse allegations, colorism allegations, things like that.
He's got more abuse allegations? Is something new? Or
Yes,
this is still
new. That's not Rihanna. I think her name is Karuchi or whatever. He did lay hands on her multiple times. But he stalks her and things like that. So he's just
still?
He
stalks her?
He stalks her, yes. Chris Brown gets down with the get down. So they're trying to understand, why is he getting so much support nowadays on his tour. I guess they thought it will stop something on his end with his tour, but he's actually doing well. So
I thought the Karuchi thing was over. I didn't know, like, but women love Chris Brown, like they do. Sometimes women a lot of women like bad boys.
My daughter likes Chris Breezy.
Well, do you feel like he should be canceled? Still, did you feel like it should affect his numbers with his tour?
No, they're allegations. They're not.
Do you feel like he's better than Beyonce?
Is he better than Beyonce?
I'm asking you.
No.
No.
Chris Brown makes good music. He doesn't make great albums. He makes great songs. I agree. He doesn't make. Beyonce makes great albums.
This will be a little controversial. I didn't think Beyonce's country album was all that great, even though it
sold like crazy.
It sold like crazy
for obvious reasons. But Chris is. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know Chris. I don't know anything about the personal stuff and all that. Entertainment wise, he's great. I think he's a generic Michael, of course, but I mean, we're talking about Michael Jackson. But he's got that charisma. He's got the talent. He's got the triple threat. Chris is a talent, and like I said, he makes good records. He makes good songs. Yeah, he's a good talent. Yep.
I think it goes to say a lot about cancel culture, really.
Yeah.
Do you think he should be canceled, Sass?
I think people can forgive. I wouldn't say cancel. He likes what he likes. If he doesn't like dark-skinned women, that's fine. If he, his preference, but it has nothing to do with his talent, I say. But obviously, cancel culture probably isn't a real thing because they still go out their way to support that.
Right.
Well, somebody should have told Jeffrey Epstein that. And Weinstein.
Yeah. Right. He doesn't. Right? I didn't hear that one either. Right? He doesn't like dark-skinned women. I never heard that either.
Oh yeah. My kind, we ain't allowed around those parts.
Do you think a lot of it's for tabloids? Yeah. To keep himself in the news.
He's serious.
It could be because
I'm not saying like the abuse allegations are that, but like what people tend to, especially right before a tour,
where the music business is crazy, like
be controversial.
Usher couldn't, they told him not to say he was married or get married. That takes away from your, girls liking you or appearing to see you or whatever. They want Usher to be single. So, yeah, he's not.
I have a take on that, but.
Huh?
I mean, like Cat Williams says, they have a special wife for all of them. That's why they don't speak out. They don't say things.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all a industry thing.
Music-wise, Chris is dope. I mean, he's no Usher.
He's dope. I give him yeah.
But he's there. Chris is.
Is he
talented kid.
Hip hop? Is he a top tenor for you guys?
Well, he doesn't. He can rap.
He does R&B. He can rap though, right?
But he's R&B guy.
All right. So, is he a top 10 R&B guy for you?
For what? For all time?
I'm gonna give him top 10.
You would?
I'm gonna give Chris top 10.
All time? All time? You give him top 10?
I give him top 10.
Well,
he's in the top 10.
For Sass, it only goes back to late 90s. But
it depends on how you categorize. Are you talking about all around what he does, or just singing, or what all around?
I'm gonna say singing, R&B. I give him that. I can say he's the Prince. I gave him the Prince title, definitely.
Really? The Prince.
Prince. I'm gonna give him the Prince title. They got
what does
the
that
king,
mean?
The Prince of R&B?
He's the Prince of R&B?
I give Chris Brown Prince of R&B, 100%.
Who's the
100%.
king of R&B? Who's the king of R&B?
Who's the king of R&B for you?
Oh, damn. But we can't say his name.
Kelly? R. Kelly?
I would have gave Kelly that, you know what I'm saying?
Really?
I would have gave Kelly that.
King of R&B.
I mean, Usher is in there too. I mean,
Usher's over both of them. They're not close to Usher.
I'm gonna give Usher and Chris neck to neck. Simple, because Chris Brown had like a better ride on his career. Usher kind of went through some ups and downs. Like if it wasn't for Diddy, Usher would never be where he's at today. He went through some things in his career.
This is a generational gap here. That's what I think.
No,
this is facts. Usher had a hard time.
Usher
had a hard time coming out.
All these artists have had
Usher, Chris Brown.
But not Chris Brown.
Chris Brown will never sell 1 million copies in 1 week. Usher's done that. What are you talking about?
He did? Okay, well maybe I need to maybe look into that.
No, I'm telling you right now, Confessions did 1 million in 1 week.
Okay. And he's in Vegas right now. He's in Vegas right now.
Yeah, right? They say it's like the best show ever created.
I've seen him in Vegas. It was a great show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usher's
I'm gonna still give Chris Brown.
Usher's a one-namer.
I'm gonna still give Chris Brown his 10s. I'm gonna say they neck to neck. They both can dance. They both can sing.
Do you have any older? I know she's young.
Yeah.
Do you have any older R&B people that would be in your top 10? I'm just asking.
Bobby Brown.
In the top 10?
Yeah, I'll give Bobby Brown. You said older, right?
I mean, I like Bobby
is dead
Brown.
right
I don't know
now,
if
so
I would
I'm
put
not
him
really
in the
an
top
R&B
10.
type of girl.
Maybe with New Edition.
But R&B is dead.
If he was in New
like
Edition,
New Edition.
It just depends on. It just depends on what it is.
It depends.
Yeah.
But I feel like they can be neck to neck.
Okay.
All right.
All right. What else you got?
Well, yeah. What else you got?
Okay, so we have Kanye West and Bianca. You know, Kanye West is coming out with a new album and a song titled Bianca. I guess she left. Allegedly, she left Kanye, and Kanye has been spiraling out of control lately because of
Well,
that.
she needs to leave Kanye.
Well, he's a spiraler.
Yeah.
He does that. I think that's part of. I think he's crazy like a fox.
I don't think Kanye is crazy. I feel like Kanye does have valid points at times. I think people just don't like the delivery of it. People
No,
cannot
crazy
handle
like
the truth.
crazy like a fox means he's not crazy. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, okay. That must be an old term or something.
Yeah.
Old term. Crazy like a fox.
But I mean, Kanye, this is gonna be your second wife? I mean, retired. I don't know. We had Kim Ye, Bianca. What we gonna get next?
Oh, a lot of people have second wives. They just don't put it on paper.
Right. But I think he's, with that attitude, Kanye, ain't no woman gonna want to deal with that baby.
J-Lo had 90 husbands. Right? So,
Yeah.
She did.
People get married, so
She got around.
try to get it right,
Do you think Kanye is kind of run its course? I mean, are people going to rush out to get his new songs or raps or whatever?
I mean, I'm definitely going to listen to it. I just feel like his mental state is taking over.
Compared to when he
his
first came
artistry.
out, just because of what he's, obviously I believe he suffers from mental illness.
For sure.
And I don't know, man. I mean, anytime you get your wife dressing in a nude dress to come to the Grammys?
Oscars?
The Grammys.
Or whatever it was. I mean, just.
Well, she's got to say no.
Well,
I mean,
she like it.
It makes you wonder: is it abuse? If that kind of stuff is allegedly abusive? Where,
I mean,
hey,
they did.
You do this
it was
for
some
me,
allegations. It was some allegations that he were making her do stuff like that and taking her away from her friends and family and things. So it's maybe a little part of that control.
So does this make Kim Kardashian insane? That she got
crazy like
You're
a fox.
not saying either.
Is that what it is?
Crazy like a fox.
Okay.
Crazy like a fox.
What else you got, Sass?
Okay, I have Brett Gardner's son. He has been deemed deceased after going to Costa Rica. He fell asleep and he died in his sleep with carbon monoxide poisoning. They found that in the high-end resorts. I kind of feel like, how can this be prevented when you're going to spend thousands of dollars at a high-end resort for your son?
You don't go out of the country.
No, you're gonna have to go.
You
out of the
always
country
hear
sooner or
about this
later.
out of
You're
the country.
rich. You're the Yankees baseball
It doesn't
player. You're gonna
matter.
go anywhere you want to go.
That doesn't matter. You always hear about
It
this.
doesn't matter?
Because they have different regulations in these different countries. That's what I think.
I mean, that's true, but just like the family with the children in Detroit, her kids died of carbon monoxide poisoning as well.
Yeah, but they were sleeping in a car in a parking structure.
It doesn't matter. How can you prevent that? I mean,
well, there is carbon monoxide detectors.
Yeah.
Which obviously
so
that
people
place
need
in
to get
Costa
that.
Rica must not have had.
She didn't have one either.
Well, they weren't going to have you're not going to have a carbon monoxide detector in the car. Right?
Honey, if you sleep in that car,
unless there
I
is
mean,
one in
don't
there?
people die like that all the time in their garage?
No, it is true. Because I think they thought
play it safe.
Gene Hackman and his wife died. That was the first thing that came to mind when that.
Yeah. 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 It's just like
No, it is. It's sad.
Yeah, it is very
That's sad.
It is very sad.
You always hear about kids,
I mean, it's not funny.
families
but-
having some tragedy outside of the country too.
Right.
It's
Well,
always
that's
something.
true. That's true. But they do speak about getting, those detectors, But they ain't got a high-end resort. Y'all not.
I think it's different regulations.
Yeah.
They probably don't think about.
Well, you got to start thinking.
It's got to be
think-
something like that. Yeah. I would agree.
It's
I mean,
safety
honestly, I mean,
protocol.
when you even, but when you go to like the Marriott or something around here, you see fire detectors. You don't really see, unless they're built in with it. I don't see
carbon monoxide. Yeah.
because the carbon monoxide that I have at my house, those are external plugins. So maybe it's not. You have to have it. Maybe it's not a code violation that you don't have to. I mean, obviously, smoke detectors. Maybe carbon monoxide detectors aren't.
Right.
Maybe they need to.
I mean, if we're talking high end, okay? It's like you have that detector, they could have that too.
Yeah, I agree
Protocols.
with you. I
If
think
people are spending thousands of dollars, they're rich.
yeah,
Let's prevent this.
I
I
agree
don't
with
want to
you.
wake up on an island dead, because I just paid thousands of dollars to stay here. Y'all don't have safety protocols. What happened to PPE? What happened to, you know? Just
What
saying.
else you got,
Just
Sass?
saying. Okay, so we have Wendy Williams in her legal guardianship. Free Wendy. Wendy is basically on a legal guardianship. Someone's controlling her money. She is locked up because obviously some money abuse allegations was sent off to Wells Fargo, and they put her under guardianship. But they did say that she's going to go back and be reevaluated, but they don't think anything will change. So you feel like Wendy Williams is in control or out of control mentally to maintain her money and her mental health?
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think Wendy Williams is sick, and I think she does have dementia issues, and it could be alcohol induced. I mean, that's just my opinion. 'Cause
Agreed.
you hear sometimes she's fine, but that's Alzheimer's in itself.
Yes.
One you could be fine for a little bit, and then that's just the.
Yeah. So many stories.
I mean,
and report like
I do kind of feel as if it is alcohol induced for sure, because she was drinking a lot and she has lupus. But I do feel like it's a lot of stress as well, because stress can make you literally mentally lose your mind. When you have your son stealing from you, your husband stealing from you,
Exactly.
Of course you're gonna drink and lose your mind.
You
But
have to.
a part of me feels like you're kind of right, Scotty. Like, yeah, she may not be mentally here, but maybe she's back on her game. We miss Wendy though.
Yeah.
We all wish her well.
Yeah. You don't want to see people just, crumbling.
But I know that did you see was it a few months ago? They had may have been longer than that. They had that kind of documentary on her, and they showed her. She didn't look well.
Yeah.
At all.
In the window, or TMZ, or the one that she had with her own documentary. Lifetime.
Was it on Lifetime? It might
Yeah,
have
it was
been
on Lifetime.
Yeah.
Some shots she looks better. Sometimes she looks better. Sometimes she looks
Sometimes
totally
she don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's 60.
Yeah.
I think she's 60 years old too. So
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
And
What
so
else you
next
got
I
out here?
have is Cardi B and Offset relationship drama. Obviously, Cardi B has moved on with a sports player, athlete.
Who?
Cardi B
Oh, Cardi B.
has moved on. Obviously,
Are they
there's
not
some I think they're still married, but I think she's in a divorce process, allegedly. But she's upset because Offset is using bloggers to troll her, and she's asking him to stop and is demanding an apology. As you know, Cardi B is the queen of lawsuits and will sue you, especially Tasha K. So Offset needs to back off, because Cardi B is going to come for you.
I think she's
All of your
dating
money.
Stefan Diggs. I think she's dating
Yes. Stefan Diggs is his name.
I think she's hanging
And
out with
Offset
Diggs.
is not happy about that. He's literally like stalking her at the club.
He
He's
just got
really pulled
traded
up on her.
Yeah. He just got traded to the Patriots, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
Odell
happy
Beckham.
for
all over.
her.
Right.
I'm happy for her. I'm so happy for her. She's got stuff on Diggs, because Offset is, oh my God, he's Offset. Like, you're a bad philanderer. Literally.
Well, that's what happens when you Cardi B marries Offset. That's
So you have to say that's
Do
obviously
you
what
really
happened
think
like
that
that?
was for love when they got married?
Jesus
I mean, when
No.
they first got together, you don't think that was a? I mean, anytime
I believe she
none of these
did.
marriages
Of
last.
course not. Of course not.
She married for love, but he.
Of course not.
She married for love.
Mm.
I feel.
believe
You know,
she
I feel
did.
sorry for the kids. You know,
Yes.
Way sorry. Yeah.
I mean,
And-
but what does she expect though? He has like 11 children outside of her.
Well,
That's what we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Well, there's red flags, and then there's red flags.
Right. And she got another red flag, and then he's known in Atlanta for like just cheating, really bringing people in the house. And Scotty, I mean, girl.
And she's involved with now Diggs, who's Diggs is not,
he's not better.
Offset, but
oh my God.
Diggs is a total prima donna too.
Well.
So, don't stop. Cardi, girl, get it together, girl. Get a divorce, honey. Get it together. Leave these athletes, these rappers alone, honey.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I seen one of these topics you had on here, because I had been looking at this because it comes up on social media quite a bit. Baddies on the Zeus Network drama.
Yes.
Do you watch
that's
that?
Over in Detroit. I do not watch Baddies at all.
Okay. Now, Baddies, you know what the Zeus Network, right, Co?
No idea.
Okay, the Zeus Network is it's like kind of like, what would you say it would be like?
A YouTube.
Sass? Yeah.
A YouTube.
It's like a YouTube, but now the kid that
like Tubi,
or the young guy that runs it, believe it or not, his dad is the bishop for Israel for the Kojic Church, Glenn Plummer.
Okay.
He's the guy that came out with that Preachers of LA series. Remember that? You don't remember that at all?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm totally lost.
Did you ever see that, Sass?
I'm not big on this.
I heard of that, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Social media thing. Yeah. I don't. This is all new to me.
Yeah, he's a Detroit native,
I mean, it to me, I think everything on that is pretty raunch.
Yes. Very
not
raunch,
surprising.
ratchet,
it's all reality raunch
sniper.
because he's kind of picked up. He's got Jocelyn Hernandez. He grabs all. I think he grabbed everybody off these Atlanta hip hop and so you know what you're getting.
So say no more.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a great marketing. I say that, but it's getting to a point where it just makes the community looks bad. Women involved as well. People are getting set up. So speaking of that topic, Natalie Nunn is a producer for the show Baddies. She doesn't own the show, but she's the executive producer of that show. And allegedly, Natalie Nunn was original of the Bad Girls Club before Baddies. You know, the Bad Girls Club back in the days, early 2000.
No.
Honey, you got to get it together. You got to get it together. Bad Girls Club, Natalie Nunn. She's executive producer, of course, but she's on a crossfires because a woman by the name of Ivory got jumped by 10 girls. Blood everywhere. It was just really, really bad. But Lemmy, the person that owns this producer, is the one doing the setup. So everyone is trying to tell her, like, you need to clear your name because, it's one thing for it to be a show, but it's another thing for people to be getting hurt in the process. And, a lot of those girls that's involved with those shows are gang-affiliated members. They are, they hang out with people that will probably kill you, So it was just kind of like they got on live, the producer, Lemmy Pepper. They call her Lemon Pepper. And she got on Instagram Live that was going back and forward, so it might not be a show anymore. But, I'm glad that she just told the truth that it was not her giving out people addresses and things like that because now it's getting dangerous, So, yeah. Lemmy Pepper, I feel like he had a good network, but it's going to become some criminal investigations pretty much soon.
We've come a long way from...
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Come a long way from Little House on the Prairie, huh?
Yeah. These reality shows are out of hand.
Yes.
I mean, there's always and none of them are like when you watch them or when you've seen some of them. There's nothing good. It's all chaotic drama. It's like, to me, it's like watching your workplace at home on the couch.
Yeah.
With all the drama.
I mean, it's just like you say one thing to me and you look at my shoe wrong, I want to fight. That's all it is. I don't see anything productive.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen this Love and Hip Hop.
Well, I've seen a couple. I don't watch them. The only one I watch and the only one I watched a little bit every now and then was Basketball Wives. That's because Evelyn was on there. But other than that, I didn't know hip hop, no Miami. it's just it's ridiculous to me. It's just the same thing. Even
I
with
mean,
the
at
Stevie
least
J
Love
one.
Basketball Wives were actually doing things, having events, or they
Yeah.
had a good topic. But those girls, oh no, I mean, blood is being drawn,
Yeah.
biting,
I just
like
watch Evelyn.
it's crazy. So I'm glad that Natalie Nunn is clearing up her name because that's very dangerous.
I
When you
would
mess
love
with
to
people
see a
that
reality show that actually uplifts.
Yeah. How about
right,
how about a go to
right.
church?
Every
Go to
one of
church
them
reality,
now are. Well, I don't know if I want to see a reality show on church. There's
I'm
some-
saying go to church.
Oh,
like
okay,
have
okay.
something like positive. You know what I mean? Like, well, we spend time here. We spend time actually helping people.
Yeah.
We have
Right.
$8 gazillion. We spend time actually giving back to the community. Reality that.
I agree.
Right.
Everything
I
is a
agree.
bag or a shoe or a Bentley or he bought me this or I got to do this or this or that. I got the bag or I felt it's
No.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's not uplifting the community. It's not uplifting the youth.
Right.
Everybody now, even on Roblox now, they have baddies where they're fighting on the Roblox. Check y'all kids' phone. It's that crazy. The kindergartners, and toddlers, they think they're on a baddies episode. That's how messed up that this nonsense is getting good. So I hope and pray that that show gets taken down. Shout out to Natalie Nunn, girl. Clear your name. Clear your
Well,
name.
as long as people like watching train wrecks, it'll be and the reason why they're so popular and these networks go with it because they don't cost much to produce.
Don't cost much to
Doesn't.
produce.
Basically, hold your phone up
And they
and
make all the
record
money.
everybody arguing.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to
But
see
also,
that.
allegedly as well, just to add on to that, it's some allegations on he don't feed them. He makes them mad and get them
Right.
drunk just so they can fight and destroy each other.
Mm.
And it's like, whoa, you can't get a meal?
That's great.
Yeah.
Great show. Good job.
It's like dogs at this point. But yeah, shout out Natalie Nunn. Okay, next. So we have Sean Diddy Combs. It
Uh-oh.
looks like he might be getting dismissed.
He might be what?
He got some lawsuits dismissed. Obviously, of his sexual allegations, one had got dismissed because the lady named of Jane Doe did not want to appear in court. So right now they're just trying to get things to say, basically the jurors, they need to prove consent. They're trying to prove consent. So how do you guys feel about that? With the freak offs.
It's bad. Like this is just more than
Is this worse than the R. Kelly? Or
This
no?
is worse than R. Kelly. No.
You think
no.
it's worse than R. Kelly?
It's worse than R. Kelly. I feel like this is Jeffrey Einstein level for sure.
it's
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's as bad as R. Kelly
no.
because people
It is.
because R. Kelly kind of kidnapped these girls
Well,
to a certain extent.
let's just
What do you think?
let's just say that they're both bad people.
Both.
Everything is bad. There's no measure of badness. It's both bad. It's actually sad. It's bad. It's these two people put people's lives in danger. Some saying that this is more than just the Playboy Mansion stuff. This is guns, drug trafficking, kidnapping. This is it's horrible. It's not even. Actually, it's disappointing. It's sad. It's horrible. It's not even worth mentioning actually because the things that were done or allegedly done. If this is all true, this is one for the ages. And there's no level of what R. Kelly did or what Diddy did or Epstein. They're all in a pit of
Correct.
yeah.
I mean, a lot
all
of people are going to settle anyways because when money involved, a lot of people are going to withdraw because they're scared,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I obviously feel like Diddy is out of line and out of order, and you deserve to be in prison. But I do feel like a lot of people is going to be a money grab, and he might get off. You know what I mean? So
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you can just pick up the phone now and say Diddy did this to me, and they'll accept it. But this is the tape tells me everything.
correct. Correct.
Putting your hands on a woman and doing that, what he did on tape, I believe everything.
I
What
mean,
man
even
does
to the
that?
point where we have IVs. It's that
Yeah,
bad. Like people
yeah,
have to have IVs in their blood, you know,
yeah,
in their system.
yeah.
So,
That's just so.
100%.
The 2,000 bottles of
Baby
baby
oil.
oil that was a telltale sign too, right?
Yeah, well, that's the
Yeah, that's
that was
crazy.
the liquid. That was the drink.
Oh, jeez.
So it's
Right.
bad. It's horrible.
It's not funny, but it's like, oh my gosh, dang,
It's
he did
horrible.
it.
It's horrible.
You know
Woo.
what's so crazy about that whole situation is it just became even more and more ludicrous
Well-
as the time went on.
And let's be clear. This has been going on forever. It's
Correct.
been going on at the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
Right.
The treatment of women has been bad for years. So this is, I tell people all the time, men look at women as objects,
Correct.
disrespectfully. So it's bad. It's actually sad. It really is. It really is. It's nothing about it is. I mean, I just don't get to where people get mentally. Where this is this is your life, and you just treat people the way that they treated people. I just don't like. Where's the
Hollywood.
humanity?
Do you
100%.
think this is just too much power, too much money, and you always it's kind of like doing drugs. You get that big high, and you're always trying to chase something on top of it to get more and more. I mean, you see it, with the sex.
Mm-hmm.
Money can
Well-
buy you
well, it's
this person, that person,
it's
this, that,
definitely
the
power.
other.
It's
I mean,
definitely
just
power.
all the allegation, even the
What?
the
But I
rumors.
definitely feel like once you get that type of money, you can have anything you want, and it's not fun anymore when you can
Right.
just get it. So he probably got a kick off of it, or other people in the industry gets kicks off of taking it from people without their
Right.
consent, because it's like, I get that sense of power. I lose power that I have all this money. Of course you're gonna say yes,
Yeah.
but let me take
What's-
it from you.
There's power than money,
Right.
but
Mm-hmm.
money just reveals who you are. That's all. It
Correct.
does.
Correct.
So this has
100%.
been going on way before the money. So
It
money's
has.
just the truth. Money's just the truth.
But he's
teller.
just getting caught up. Yeah. So we have our next topic. In Frisco, Texas, here in Texas. Oh my God. It was a high school stabbing incident. Basically at a track field meet, they were running tracks, and he stabbed the guy in the chest because the guy told him, "You're in the wrong seat." Why are people using weapons just for a simple misunderstanding? Here in Texas, it's legal to carry, but why are people so quick to violence when it could just be a simple get up out the chair, get up out the seat? Now he done lost his life at 17 years old. 4.0 GPA.
Ain't nobody got time for
Track and
that.
field.
It's unexplainable. Senseless. It's unexplainable.
Are we
I have no
scared
answer
to
for it.
fight?
I have no answer for it. It's just unexplainable.
After even after a couple, what is it, a few weeks ago with the other one that the girl that hit the girl in the head with a baton.
And the
when they were running
baton,
around
it's the
corner?
track girls, it's the track girls and boys losing their minds.
It's
Is this a new
unexplainable.
trend?
Yeah, is it a new trend?
What's going on?
I can't explain
But
it, man.
rest in peace, young man. I mean, he literally lost his life over a seat at a track and meet. They were on the opposite team, and I guess, things got carried away. But it's unfortunate that we have someone in my generation, of course,
I
that
saw
was
that
always
story.
probably going to succeed.
Here's a question. I'll
Lose
put
his
this
life.
out to you. I'll put this out to both of you.
Oh,
Why
sorry.
is it that everybody wants to fight? Is it because we've been desensitized to this? Because that's all you see because of, just like we were talking before, reality TV. Everybody's in argument. Everybody's fighting. You're taking my guy. You're taking my girl. You did this. You did that. It's almost like it's carried over into the real life. And kids
I mean,
that are watching
100%.
these shows are basically doing everything on the TV that in real
They
life.
see.
Listen, when I was a kid,
Social
I
media.
watched the Three Stooges. My dad stopped me from watching the Three Stooges. And this, you know why? Because me and my brother started beating each other up like the Three Stooges. Now that's not even remotely even close to this, right?
Right.
But
No, it's
where's
similar.
the parents in all this? Where's the good examples? Where you know what I'm saying? You can't let your kids watch this garbage. And honestly, the more and more you watch this stuff, these train wrecks that we were talking about, the more you get desensitized to it, and everybody thinks that's just the way it's supposed to be. Don't you think so?
Well, yeah,
That's
I mean,
true. But I think
parent-
it's the music though as well.
parents are weak.
The music
But
plays
it-
a part.
But it's reality shows. It's music,
The
and it's
kid-
not just the hip hop music.
Everybody has to be the thug. Everybody
Yeah.
has to be the gangster to get their point across. When really maturity wins it all. You know, just
Yeah.
communicate.
Well, and then you have to look
Everybody
at
don't want to
upbringing.
seem weak.
You have to look at
Yeah,
upbringing.
upbringing as well.
You have to look at upbringing. Parents are the key. Parents are the key.
Yeah.
Leadership. Parents are the key. That's it.
For sure.
Parents.
It
The
starts
parents
at
are
home,
not.
for sure.
The parents are weak. The parents are weak. Parents are scared of their own kids. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's come to the point now where you're afraid to discipline your kids because, you know, you
might
spank
shoot
your
you.
kid
Yeah.
or
You can't-
whatever.
yeah.
I'm not saying you need to beat your kid,
Yeah.
but I think spankings work
They do work. They do work. I couldn't eat a certain
if
way.
done the correct
Yeah,
way.
you got to.
You know, I mean, I'm not talking about beating your kid all the
Yeah.
time when he does something bad,
It
but
works.
it works.
It works.
Did you ever get spanking, Sass?
Yes, with
Yeah.
extension card.
Oh, well, hey, it was never that bad for me. Maybe a wooden spoon here every now and then. What about you, Corey? What did,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
did you get beaten up with?
Uh,
Tell the truth.
well, I mean, belt, switches.
A
You know,
switch.
yeah, yeah.
Don't
I mean,
let your
like,
mama tell you go get that switch for the tree.
yeah. My grandmother would do, you know, but parents, it's just no. The parenting skills are terrible. That's what it is. It's
I
the
mean,
internet.
gentle parenting is a thing now.
It's the internet and parenting. There's no leadership. The parents don't lead.
I
They
blame y'all
follow.
generation.
Parents do most of the following.
Y'all generation is the cause of this nonsense.
We're the cause?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say that, Sass?
The guys in their 50s and 40s, y'all the main cause. I mean, you might not be that prototype of guy, but some of these y'all generation condone this nonsense. I feel like the people that's born in the 60s, the 50s, 60s, maybe the 70s, you know, it's just, me and my friend talk like the guys that you see at the gas stations and stuff they're literally probably born around like the 70s, 60s or 70s. Because the crack epidemic, they got their own English beers. I feel like this y'all generation are so heavy on material things. So it got to like my generation head of material things and things like that. You know, we're kind of doing better as far as education wise. But now
Well, I think as
my
parents, we
generation
all
having
want
kids.
more for our kids.
I mean,
But
yes,
I don't know.
y'all
I wouldn't say.
generation is the
I
reason
think if
why these
anybody's,
kids-
if any
I'm telling you.
generation's self-centered, it's probably the millennials. Wouldn't you say?
No, the millennials, we're taking notes. We're going through mental health. We're really doing our thing. Y'all generation, no, y'all the reason why some of the kids in my generation, my generation are like this. Because some of them are just scared about material things and materials and cereals, and that's that. And then they
Well-
have kids at an early age and they pass it on to their younger children.
But I don't think,
Unfortunately,
honestly, I
I'm not
don't
in that
think you can lop
percentage.
everybody into the generation thing because
I
my
am.
kids
I
turned out
am.
good.
That's
I think
fine.
it's
I'm not
parenting.
saying- I said yes, gentle parenting, but some of y'all generation was too lenient.
But sometimes you can't have. You have to,
well,
spank
we're
them
gonna
once
say
in
in
a
the
while.
hood percentage, they don't do gentle parenting. They do gentle parenting. In other ways, like Corey said earlier, that it depends, like how their upbringing, and a lot of people in the upbringing was affected by the crack epidemic. So now we're still battling that. That's why people are just doing what they want to do, don't respect anything. Children are fighting, stabbings are happening because everybody has to be hard nowadays.
Well, our generation,
Y'all
we didn't
quiet
do
now?
that. Like a lot of generations, like we didn't do that. Like we actually fought with our hands. We didn't go out and stab and shoot people
Right.
over any disagreement. So that's not you can't say that that's we actually wore belts with our pants. So we can't,
Oh, really?
say,
Yeah.
But
you know,
now
that's
we have y'all.
We actually
wait.
wore our
We go on
pants
Instagram.
around our waist.
yeah.
We go on Instagram. We got 50, 60-year-olds sagging their pants. Trying to take it back to the 9-9. So let's make that clear. Y'all are reverting back. They getting in their heads too. So
What do you
I don't know.
What do you got next?
What do you got next, Sass?
Oh, did I hit a nerve for that one?
No. We just got more show.
We just
Okay,
got
so
more.
the
like to
last
listen
We
to
can
the-
talk about this all
Okay,
the time.
wait.
What?
Okay, this is y'all last. This is the last one, but this is your
Okay.
generation. That's what I'm talking about. A 60-year-old woman found dead during a California prison visit with her estranged husband that has been incarcerated. They got married in prison. She was doing a visit with her husband, and he called and said she's dead. Obviously, he killed her. He's a convict. Why do you think women are falling in love with convicts more than ever, especially at that old age,
I
at
don't know,
60?
Falling in love with convicts.
Why are we going out of the way? Where are the good men at? Let's talk about that.
Why do women fall in love with? Why do women go out with? We just talked about it, Cardi B and Offset.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not a
it's
Cardi B
about
Offset
money. It's
situation.
about what you can. It's about
He
superficial
locked
things.
up. But he locked up. You were 6 years old. You went out of your way to date this
Yeah, but you
convict.
can't really blame that on a certain generation. That's probably been
That's
going
the
on for quite a
generation
bit.
I'm saying. Like, that's the 60 kids. The 60.
So it's our fault that 26, 70-year-old women have 4 baby dads, 4 baby
Yes.
daddies. That's
Mhm.
our fault. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's get to the next topic.
But we don't want to go. We can elaborate, but that's all I have today. I'm getting on your
Okay.
nerves. Next episode, let's talk. 60s versus 90s.
Well, yeah, the whole.
I wasn't born in
took-
the 60s, so I couldn't
Yeah, I
say.
wasn't born in the 60s either. But I'm just saying, when you can't blame it on a certain generation.
I'm not blaming y'all on everything. I'm just saying all kind of correlates. I have this theory, but I know y'all don't want to get
We hear
into
you.
that. I'm not trying
But
to
I
make
think you
y'all.
get bad parenting in every generation.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You do,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Tori said earlier, it's the household. It's the household.
Well,
passed on.
and it all boils down to we've become such a godless society too.
That's true.
You know,
True.
everybody wants to believe in everything that is really not reality and truth.
Yeah.
And we've seen the decay of this nation now for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
In some form or capacity.
Yep.
I would say it's been on a downward spiral since 9/11,
Yeah. It's been bad.
and even before that.
Right.
All right. Well,
But I mean, I
yeah.
guess y'all didn't. That I blow. I hope I didn't blow y'all.
no. We got to finish up the show here. We got some stuff
I
we
got
want to
y'all
get to.
uncomfortable in that seat. Y'all.
Yep.
No,
All right. Well, we'll get with you next week.
there's not much to say.
All right,
You-
y'all.
you,
Let me
you
stop
blamed
playing.
everything
It is
on.
some stuff to say, but
No,
I'm
we got to
holding
get
y'all
to the next. We got to get
accountable.
to the next topic. We got topics to get
Sass,
to.
we could talk about
We could yeah, this could go on forever.
women having 8 baby daddies and
Yeah.
and guys having women
Okay, we can
having
always talk about that. That's no problem.
12
But
kids with
That's all I have. for
13
today.
women.
Okay.
Thanks,
Well, I'm sure you'll
Sass.
come up with some more next week. Join us.
Y'all want to talk about that though. I got y'all squirming. Y'all see them squirming. They
No, it's not that,
No,
Sass.
60s. What year y'all was born? I'm sorry.
We just have to get to more topics. We got more topics to get to.
Okay,
That's all.
well,
We can continue it
y'all
next
can
week.
exit. Don't try to exit any
Yeah,
group.
we can.
I'm
No, we
talking
can
to-
talk about it next week. It's a topic we can talk about it next week.
I'm a stat
I'm gonna
guy.
let y'all
I'm
know
a
y'all
stat guy.
topic.
I'm a stat guy, Sarah. So I'm going to come up just so we can get back into this next week. I'm going to come up with some stats.
Okay.
Different stuff that we've talked about today, and
Yeah.
we can get into it more. I didn't know we were going to go down this
Yeah,
this
yeah,
rabbit hole,
yeah.
but
I sent y'all the list. Y'all don't study.
Right. I didn't see anything about baby daddies and blaming everything on.
But I was elaborating. See, I caught y'all. Boom, bam. Got to give me the soundboard.
Uh,
Got time for that.
There we go.
there we go. All right, Sass. Well, listen, we'll be back on next week. You'll be back in with some more stuff. We can get into this more.
Sure.
I'd love to.
I
hear
mean, I
some
don't want to
other
make y'all
opinions on it.
uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm totally comfortable with it. You know,
I'm
'cause
sorry.
I can't say that to blame the whole entire my generation for the cause of everything.
Well, this is the Co and Bro opinion show. That's her opinion.
That's your opinion. We love it. That's why everybody's got
Yeah,
their
we
opinion
need those
today.
opinions, Cohen, bro.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. But I'll let y'all go to y'all next topics. Thank y'all for having me. Follow me on Instagram. I am Sarah Carell _. I promise you guys, I am not crazy or let me out feel. You just not bored. It's just kidding. I'm just like, oh my God, and I make those y'all just like. But anyways, I'll probably hear about it later. But yeah, follow me on Instagram. I am Sarah Carell _. That's all I have for right now. The same thing for YouTube as well.
All right, Sassy. Well, you have a good week, and we'll see you back here next week.
See you next week.
All righty, y'all. Thank you.
Look how I look like a fool.
Sassy Sarah. Boy, that went. You talk about train wrecks. That totally
It
took
went
a
too
train.
far. Yeah.
Well, I just don't feel like you should blame.
No, that's not. No, that's.
Would you say that? There we
yeah.
go. I like that shot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I were to bring my dad back in here, I mean, society's been going downhill since he's been a kid
Yeah.
in some form or capacity.
It's
But
a people
that
thing.
is a good discussion, though.
It's a.
I'm
people
glad
thing.
she brought it up
It's a people thing.
because
Yeah, we can talk more about it. We just can't talk the whole show.
right. So listen, let's see what else we got here on the agenda before we. Val Kilmer died.
Yeah. That. Val
Great
Kilmer.
actor.
Great actor. Great actor. What's your favorite Val movie?
You know, I know you were
People
going to
say
ask
Top
me that.
Gun.
No, I
Tombstone.
thought he did a really good job in Batman. I thought he was.
He
a
did
good
an excellent
Batman.
job in Batman. Val Kilmer,
Yeah,
65, I think.
yeah. Cancer, throat cancer,
Yeah.
not good
You know, he was been battling that,
for a while.
and then it said that, and then the pneumonia hit.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So.
Pneumonia's not a joke either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've had pneumonia.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
I liked him in Tombstone. I liked him in. He was great in Heat. With Robert De Niro, and I didn't know he dated some of the top ladies there. I knew he dated Cher. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He hung out with
But
Angelina.
who hasn't dated Cher?
Well, but Cher's she's, this is early Cher.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie. He
Yeah.
dated her.
Yeah.
He dated quite a few leading ladies. Like I didn't know that about him. And then he ended up eventually getting married
Right.
to a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
I forgot her, Wayward, I think her name is, something like that. But I think they had 2 kids.
It's possible.
I think they had 2 kids. I think.
I don't have it right in front of me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So he was married for a while. So shout to their family and in this time of loss. A lot of celebrities sending out best wishes and things like that and prayers. So Val Kilmer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
good
let's
actor.
go to a more happier topic.
Yeah.
I came up with, or no, I wanted to. You know how we like movies.
Yeah. Love it.
We kind of went with music last week a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. The 100 best underrated comedy movies.
Wow.
Yeah. They came up with 100. There's a lot of movies I like that may not have been mainstream. People liked them, or cult classics, or whatever.
Yeah. The first one, yeah. We can't go through the whole list.
No, we're not going to go through the
We
whole
can't
list.
but
Some of these I've seen, some of them I haven't. So the number one, I'm just going to go straight to the top.
mm-hmm.
Talladega Nights: The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
It was hilarious.
That was a great movie.
Yes.
Underrated.
This, yeah.
The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Mm.
I didn't think that was like hilarious by no means.
I thought Ace Ventura was better. But
Oh yeah, the Cable Guy with Jim Carrey.
very funny.
That was really funny. Now some of these like The Night at the Museum, Jumanji. I don't know.
No, Jack Black. No,
some of these other ones on here, Shallow Hal, with Jack Black.
Yeah,
that was funny.
that was funny. One of mine should definitely be in there.
Paltrow was in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Which one would you say?
Baps with Halle Berry. Gotta be.
Kindergarten Cop's in there. Would you say that's funny?
No,
I mean,
no,
why would that be a comedy?
no.
I don't know. School of Rock with Jack Black.
Hmm.
Ridiculous Six with
Didn't
Adam
see
Sandler.
Didn't see it.
I'm looking in here. National Security with Martin Lawrence.
It's okay.
Let's see.
How about Bad Teacher?
Daddy Daycare.
Daddy Daycare was funny.
That was funny.
Bad Teacher. Cameron Diaz. Dope. That was dope.
Mr. 3000.
Yep. Bernie Mac.
Trading Places. Why would that be underrated? That was a great movie.
Ridiculously funny.
I mean, Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd.
Totally.
That was 31st.
Okay.
Big with Tom Hanks.
Funny.
You thought it was
I
funny?
liked it. I liked it.
The Water Boy.
Funny.
That was funny.
Mhm.
Did you say Bad Teacher?
Yes.
That is on there at
Absolutely.
34.
Diaz is so good in that.
Think Like a Man.
Not bad.
Chris Brown, Gabrielle Union, Kevin Hart.
Yep.
Little Man with the Wayans. That was funny.
Yeah.
That
No
was funny.
Baps.
I'm looking here.
Come on, Hallie.
Babs. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Malibu's Most Wanted. That was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking on here. I don't see
Was Dumb and
Babs.
Dumber on there?
Well, I don't know if that would be underrated. That was it. That was
People like that?
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy shouldn't be underrated.
No,
That was
I
hilarious.
agree with you on that.
That was ridiculous.
That was a funny movie. Black Sheep, another Chris
Yep.
Farley movie.
Yep.
Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Hilarious.
That was. Now here's one on here that I don't think should have been underrated. Bridesmaids with Wig.
They love that. People
Yeah.
love that.
They have it on here
That
as
was funny.
72.
Mm.
Mr. Deeds with Adam Sandler was funny.
Very. Deeds was funny.
Let's see. You said Babs, right?
Yeah.
They have A League of Their Own on here.
Mm.
That
Babs
was funny, but would you consider that a comedy?
Mm,
I wouldn't say that's a comedy movie.
mm,
I mean, it was funny.
It was funny.
There's some funny stuff in there. Yes Man with Jim Carrey.
yeah. Babs was probably so good it was just a box office
Eddie Murphy's back on here with The Nutty Professor at 84.
hilarious. Is the Super on there with Joe Pesci? That was hilarious.
I'm looking at it here. I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, it's not on here.
Mm.
Coming in at 100 is another Adam Sandler seems to be on here quite a bit.
Hmm. Yeah.
But those are the 100 best underrated comedies.
Interesting.
With Ricky Bobby, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby being in
Talladega was
that was a funny movie. I don't know why that would be underrated.
Talladega was funny.
But I don't think comedy movies really get the
No, they don't. Some of your-
appreciation that they deserve.
Because comedic actors, a lot of comedic actors are really good actors, but they don't get it because they're comedic actors. Example, a la Eddie Murphy.
So, before we get out of here, got about 5 minutes left.
Final four, who you got? All number ones, real quick.
Yeah,
You know, I picked Duke from the beginning.
you're picking Duke.
I picked him from the beginning.
You did.
I pick Duke every year.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But is this the first time all number one seeds?
No, it happened. It happened. No, it happened before. I can't remember.
But
the
it doesn't happen a lot.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It happened once before. Yep.
So you think Duke?
Yep. You got Duke, Auburn, Florida, and Houston. Now, I know you more college basketball than pro. I mean, I don't watch.
I'm
don't
more
watch
of a. I'm more of a. The NCAA
the
tournament.
Yeah, So
I am, and of course, I'm always watching Michigan. Michigan State
Michigan,
play. Big Ten.
Yeah, and they
so
did
I don't know
shout
too
out to
much
Michigan
about
too.
the SEC.
And Michigan State. Shout out to Izzo. People downed him and thought,
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Izzo. Shout out to, I'm not a State fan, not a Michigan basketball fan, but.
Well, you put something on here as a topic. A man was jailed for leaving kids at McDonald's.
I just want to know what you
for
think
an
about
interview.
It. Yeah, I just want to know what. I just
What's
threw
the
it out
story
there.
on that?
So, the guy went to an interview. He had an interview set up.
Okay.
But he had no place to take his kid. He couldn't take his kids, so he left them at McDonald's.
At the play place or something.
Yeah, he left them at McDonald's. He went to the interview.
So the interview wasn't at McDonald's.
No, it was like up the street or something. They called, people in there called, and he got arrested.
Sure.
Is that,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I commend the guy trying to get a job, but how old were the kids?
2, 6, 2, 9, and I can't remember. But it was like 3 kids. But here's the thing. So Antonio Brown got involved. The receiver,
of course,
quack from Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, great receiver, a little nutty, but he's offered to help the family, which I thought was a good story. I just wanted to, how do you feel about, you can't leave your kids.
Not that
you can't leave them.
You can't leave them anywhere.
You can't leave them anywhere. I'm wondering, should he have taken them? I just thought it was a good story because at the end.
Well, maybe he thought in his mind that if I leave them at McDonald's, they could play. Yeah. I got them food.
Yeah. I think this was in North Carolina.
Instead of leaving them in the car, locked in, that would have been
obviously
worse.
He had no choice.
Right.
But he can't, it's kind of but I thought it was a heartfelt, warm story that Antonio says he's going to pitch in and help the guy out. But they arrested him, and some lady in the store called. She's like, you can't do that, And, kudos to him, everybody needs to work in this day and age for sure. Because McDonald's, I went and landed. What happened to the doubles? They're like $3.99 now. But yeah, anyway, it was a good story. I thought Brown, coming in and pitching in, and sometimes you just got to have a good story.
I agree with you.
Sometimes it's still good people out there.
We had another one on here. I don't know if I want to get into it after the rabbit holes we've ran into.
You don't have to.
We could talk about that next week.
Yeah, we can talk.
So do you have any or it's just my opinion?
It's just my opinion. I'm a chicken guy. Right?
Okay.
I'm a chicken guy.
Okay.
Baked, broiled, breasts, thighs, drumsticks, fried, however you want to do it, grill it. I've tasted all this chicken. I've tasted Church's, tasted Popeyes.
Okay.
This is just my food opinion.
Okay.
Crispy, crunchy. I've tasted Kroger chicken. I've tasted Hollywood Market. I've tasted chicken.
Okay.
I've come to the conclusion and the realization no chicken tastes better than the Ponderosa wings.
You're still going to go back to the Ponderosa wings. Hey, why do you think that is?
It's something. I worked at Ponderosa. I was in charge of the salad bar. I ate all the wings before they came out, most of them. I would go to the back, sneak, drop them. There's nothing like and I say that because I had a taste for them the other day, but there's no Ponderosa that exists. I think.
I want to say there's one up. Isn't there one up by Soaring Eagle?
I'm hoping, because I'm going to take a trip up there
just to get the wings.
And the salad bar was pretty good too. But why did all the Ponderosas close? That's the best chicken I've ever tasted. It's better than Popeyes, better than Church's, better than KFC. Ponderosa wings.
Interesting.
That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, that's just
You've had them, right?
I've had them. They're good. I used to take the boys up there all the time.
Yeah.
Get the buffet.
The buffet.
Get the wings. The salad
there used
bar.
to be one on DeQuinder.
Well, there used to be one down the road in Southfield.
Yep.
All the time.
And on Telegraph.
Right.
They closed. Oh, my God. Ponderosa. If anybody's out there listening, goodness.
We'll have to take a poll on that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, a chicken poll.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Well, you've been listening to the Co and Bro Opinion Show right here on the Kavana Broadcast Network. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Sassy will be back on.
Shout out to Hallie.
Shout out to Hallie.
She should run for president. This movement she's doing with this menopause stuff, she's going to be the next president.
Halle Berry?
This is the ticket. Halle Berry and Gretch. Co-presidents.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know about that. But listen, folks, thank you for tuning in tonight. And, we'll have Sass back on. I really want to tackle that subject.
I want to get back to the Chris Brown, Usher. What? Some of these young folks just don't understand.
I think we need to bring in a psychologist or a psychiatrist.
Something.
Because Sass was blaming our generation. And I'm trying to figure out why. I don't think it's, like I said, I don't think it's a generational thing. I just think it's how you're raised, and
it's a people thing.
It is, and it's what you watch and how you desensitize yourself.
Exactly. People did things differently in every era, but at the end of the day, it's still a people thing, and it's still a parent thing. It's a parent thing.
Yeah,
that's it. Stay away from the internet. You just said it. You just said it. Instagram, internet, this, that, TikTok, this. Everybody's dancing. Everybody's twerking. Everybody needs a bag. Everybody's doing this. Everybody needs a Bentley. Everybody needs jewelry. Everybody needs a watch. That's everything that's in front of you.
Right.
And if you let these kids have these phones at the age of 6, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. I agree. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you next week right here on the Co and Bro Opinion Show.
Stay safe, everybody.
See you.